Hey, so I'm going to show you the basics of using Srcbook from zero to a working app, and we're going to do it together. So let's build an app. For demo purposes, I'm going to build like a habit tracker. So let's build a habit tracker for myself. Let's see what it comes up with here. So you could have asked for anything there to submit other examples. We'll go over a few other examples at the end of the video. So once you've asked for the AI to build you an app, you end up in this like application view, which is the main view. This is where you'll spend most of your time. I'll walk you through the layout while the AI is working. So the AI is currently writing code for us. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes for the first app. So at the top here, you have like a button to go back to the main menu, a drop down to see your account and how many messages you have left. Let's go back in here. You have like a community if you want to join a Discord. This is where you manage your plan, keyboard shortcuts if you're interested in that kind of stuff. You can switch to dark mode if you hate the sun, and this is only for me, and then you could leave feedback or get support here. So once the app is built, which is not yet, these allow you to switch between mobile view, how your app will look like on mobile, and making it full screen if you want to see what it looks like on the full screen without like the Srcbook UI. This is we call this the preview pane in the middle here. So this is where the app's going to appear. So this is actually a fully interactable little web browser. So here we go. So it built a little habit tracker. So I'm going to add a habit. And I'm going to say, I don't know, read for 20 minutes. I'm going to add a habit. And I'm going to add a habit. Look what it looks like. And here we go. We have our little habit tracker. So you have the app here. This is fully interactive. You could even publish it to the web. We'll do that in a second. I'm going to show you just these buttons again. So this is what it would look like on mobile. So see, this doesn't look great on mobile. So I could be like, could you make the website look better on mobile? And I'm going to let the app go and do this. And so let's talk a bit about this. So on the right here, you have the chat pane. This is where you ask the AI about like changes you wanted to make. And so this is what I said. This is the reasoning of the AI, which you can read if you're interested. You don't have to. Some people like to read it to understand what the AI is doing in order to correct like how they're prompting it. Prompting well is a really high level for like good output. Here is a summary of the change it's making, and here it's just writing code. So it's just slowly writing code. We don't show you the code, but you could go see it. All the code is visible here. If you are a coder, you could come in here and modify things. This is actually all editable. We don't recommend it. It's not fun, and it's easy for you to break things. So unless you're a coder, don't like kind of ignore this developer mode is what we call it. Here we go. So it's refreshing. Let's see what it looks like on mobile. Okay. Oh, I forgot my habits. So read 20 minutes. Add habit. Okay, this looks better. So it did a good job. A couple of things. So in the settings here, you have the details of the app. It called it Habit Hive. The AI came up with this. Maybe I could Nico habits. You could call it whatever you wanted, and you could give it a description. These are all AI generated, but you could change them, and they would be what people see when you share it on social media. So when you share it on social media, notice it says Nico habits, and it has that capture or nurture description. You could add custom knowledge here. If you're non-technical, you probably don't need to use this, but if you are technical, this is typically where you would give like API docs or some spec of something a little bit obscure that the AI might not know about or be making a lot of mistakes around. You could use this, I mean, you could use this for silly things like, please talk to me like you're Shakespeare. This is silly, but it would work because this is going to get sent to the AI every single time you ask for something. Give it a 80s vibe. Make it super funky. Let's see, it should respond in Shakespearean English to me. Okay. This is silly, but you get the idea. If you fill out this knowledge, it'll get sent to the AI every time you send one of these. And so the AI will know about it, which can be very useful and be used in many different ways. Here we go. So see what it did. So this is really fun. And this is something I like to do a lot with Srcbook. You ask it, you give it kind of a vibe. You could either give it a vibe, like I said, 80s, but you could give it a website you like. You could be like, make this look like Spotify or make this look like Vogue. And it does a very good job, and it's pretty good at this. You could also give it an emotion, like I want this to feel happy or sad or calm or joyful. It's actually very, very good at understanding what emotion you want and like translating it into web design. I recommend you play around with this. It's a super fun thing to do. Last thing, so let's show how we could publish this to the web. So what this like habits 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to publish this to the web. And so you just wait about, this takes about, depends on the app complexity, but it takes between like 20 seconds to a minute, and it's going to be live on the internet on that URL that we just shared. So let's just wait for that for a hot second. While it's loading, I'll show you bits of navigation things. Oh, it just published, so it's live. You could open this and boom, you have it on habits123.sourcebook.app. You could also collapse panels. So here I'm collapsing and opening up the chat panel if you want it to take less room. That's an option. And a little bit about this URL bar. Sometimes the app, it didn't break right now in this example, but like the app could break when you're building things. It happens. And so when it does, we give you ways to fix it automatically. Let me just break it. I'm going to break it on purpose, and so when we come back to the preview, it's broken. Here we go. So if you were in a broken state, once again, if you're a coder, you have options here. You could like show the logs, and you could look at the log and decide, oh, I know what the issue is, and go fix it. That's pretty hard though, and we're not expecting coders to use this. What you do have is a try fixing with AI. What I like to do before this is I do the quick restart just to check that it's not like in a bad state. Okay, it's not, this didn't really work, so this is great. I'm going to show you what I would do. I would take the red text up here, and I would just paste it up like this, fix this, and I would paste it, and I let the AI kind of figure it out. You could have also have hit that button, like fix with AI would have done basically the exact same thing. And so the AI now is like looking at the error stack trace, like what you see in the logs, and trying to fix it. You could do this once or twice. If you get into like a bad loop where it's really not fixing itself, it might be worth reaching out for help. The best place to do that is in our Discord. A lot of the time the AI can get itself unstuck, but not always. It's not perfect yet. Here we go, it fixed it. So it just basically went and fixed that code. We can look at the code change, which you would probably never do, but see it fixed that semicolon, and it fixed it and left me a little comment. Great. You could also, if you had multiple pages, which I don't, but I could be like add a profile page, just so I could show you, you could actually navigate to the different pages up here. This is like a mini URL browser for your preview window. And what else can I show you? You can download the code, you can duplicate the app to make a similar app, and it's like forking. If you want to start fresh, but like from a given checkpoint, you could just duplicate the app, and you would have a second app in your apps list that would be copy of Nico habits, and you could go open it up. This is the apps view, by the way, so you have all of your apps here. If they're deployed, they have this little icon. It shows you where it's deployed, and I go back in it, and it's still working here. This all happens in the background, so leaving the page doesn't prevent it from happening. Okay, so we're back. I just skipped here to save some time, but it just coded up like the profile page. So here I can go to profile, and as you see, it's on profile up here. If we deployed the app, I might as well just deploy it while this is happening. You would have different paths in the URL. So I have my first habits, like eating, eat much, and then add a habit. Here we go. And I bet this affects my profile somehow. Like you could add your name, etc. Cool. So that's Sourcebook in a nutshell. A couple things. You can reach out to me directly if you have any questions. You could just email me at nicholas@sourcebook.com or reach out to me in any other means. I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitter. Right now, the app really shines at building like front end, which means like the facade, the vitrine, like the UI, like the things you can see. It's not as good for what we call back end in developer speak, which is storing things in a database or doing complicated workflows. So I recommend you try and build things that are just visual heavy. Maybe explore a landing page idea that you like a fun app that you would give to your friend, or like just explore the interactions that you would use in your regular app. And I think that's it. Thanks.